Hello, in this video, we will talk about how to use classification tables for extended noun phrases. At first, let's look at what we have already done. We have learned how to do classification, and today we will do the description part. We will learn how to describe using longer sentences. Let's review the classification table that we have already studied. We see that there are different types of communication, and this table provides us with categories, subcategories, and additional details. So we can describe each of the types using simple sentences like verbal communication is any form of communication. Verbal communication is monologue and dialogue. Verbal communication gives a clear message. Or we can try to use the expanded noun phrase. Expanded noun phrase is a long descriptive phrase that is very important in business English communication. First of all, because it provides you with the additional information. It shows your professionalism. It shows that you can communicate effectively. And finally, it adds to the persuasion. You may show your academic skills, your business skills, and your persuasive skills with this type of a phrase. So let's go back to our table and let's make this expanded phrase using our first example, verbal communication. So we can say that verbal communication is a type of communication that occurs through spoken word, such as monologue or dialogue, and gives a clear message understandable for listeners. That is a very simple extended noun group. Let's paraphrase, let's use the paraphrases and make it more advanced. Listen to me and follow this very first part of our table. So, verbal communication refers to the exchange of information using spoken language, whether it involves one person speaking, monologue, or a conversation between two or more individuals, dialogue, with the intention of conveying a message that is easily comprehensible to the audience. You see that this noun phrase is really impressive. It combines a lot of information and it may really show your professionalism. So let's now go to a new topic. We are talking today about visual and electronic methods of providing information. And as usually, we start with the categorization table. Let's examine this table. It tells us about visual and electronic methods. The examples are given here. Each of the methods has its strengths and weaknesses. We can talk about advantages and disadvantages, or pros and cons, or pluses and minuses. So when you describe this table, you will use the strategies that we have already discussed. But today, we will learn how to make expanded noun phrases, how to make long sentences. So overview the table. It shows us methods of presenting information. We are choosing one important point. So we are choosing such method as visuals. And we examine each category. We think that visuals, what is the relationship between method and examples? It includes. So what are strengths and weaknesses? What is the relationship here? They characterize this method. And if we have two of them, strengths and weaknesses, we may talk about the contrast. So we will use although. So here what we have, visual methods of information presentation, which include diagrams, images, and videos, are characterized by their interactivity and ease of memorization, although they may occasionally lack clarity in presentation. So once again, today we talked with you about expanded noun groups. They are long sentences, complex sentences that allow us to persuade the listeners and to sound more professional. We saw how we can make the sentences using the table on communication, but we can also use the sentences with any other table. And for this, we're taking the table with visual and electronic ways of presenting information, and we are describing one visual. So at home, please try to describe the whole table and give more expanded sentences so that you could sound rather professional and that your listeners could be persuaded with what you're telling. Thank you and goodbye.